Hello, Spanish Fork. I'm Todd Dickerson. I'm the 2017 Spanish Fork Salem Area Chamber of Commerce President. I have with us Katrina Kimball. She is our Vice President this year, and we are here to celebrate the ribbon cutting for the Angelus Theater here in Spanish Fork. They're the newest member of the Chamber of Commerce, and with me I have Kirk Gordon and their theater friends, or friends of the theater, I think is what we chose to refer to them as, Chandra and Matthew. To start with, Kurt, tell us what inspired you to revive this old building. You've done a wonderful job, and it really looks like a great venue.
Thank you. I've worked for Booth Brothers Music since 1998, and one of the first things that Steve Booth did was challenge me to create a show, a concert here at the theater that he just put this nice stage in. And from the first time coming in here, I was completely hooked. When you open up the doors and walk in here by yourself, there's a feeling that you can't really so much describe, but it's been 105 years of first kisses, self-realization, all those great things, and you can't help but feel that. But, you know, mostly for me it was music, because I've always been into music, and not only have I worked for Booth Brothers for about 20 years now, but my dad was a musician who played music, and I've just been around it all my life. So mostly music, but also just good human energy.
Awesome. Katrina, do you have some questions?
I have a few questions. First of all, for you, well, there's a lot of artwork in the lobby. Can you tell us about that artwork in there?
Sure. So for our grand opening, which is on Saturday in a couple days here, we put out a call for art. Camille Brimhall really helped out with that campaign. We just wanted to get as much local original art here in the theater as we could, and so Steve Keel from Payson made a very nice flyer, and we put it all out around the county, and we ended up with about 26 pieces of beautiful original local art, sculptures and mostly flat art paintings.
Yeah, they are beautiful. There's one that reminds me of my childhood because it looks like Mapleton. But my other question is, there's instruments, musical instruments out there. There's some really cool musical instruments, but the one that caught my eye was the player piano. Can you tell us about that and maybe tell us the significance of the music in it?
Absolutely. So it's actually a pianola, which was the precursor to the player piano. And what it is basically is it's a small cabinet that functions exactly like a player piano. What you do is you move the pianola up to the piano, and it sits right above the keys, and then you pump it with your feet like you would an old player piano, and the hammers go down and play the keys. It's really quite something. That was from about 1901, you know, which was roughly 10 years before this theater opened. The music, we actually found that all from a gentleman in Ogden who was getting ready to move to Idaho, and one of these great groups on Facebook, you know, kind of unearthed this beautiful pianola for us, and I drove up there and he donated it to the theater.
Okay, and you, Chandra and Matt, can you tell us how you guys are involved with this theater?
Sure. We're part of Utah Valley Church, and it was a little over a year ago that we were looking for a place to meet for Sunday mornings. And we were driving by, and we happened to see this the theater out here, and we came inside and inquired, and Kurt was in here, and he was explaining that he was just in the process of beginning to renovate the theater. And we walked in, and we thought, wow, this is such a beautiful place. And from that day forward, we absolutely just fell in love with the theater, and we thought, what can we do individually, or what can we do as a church to really try to help see this really great landmark here in Spanish Fork be revitalized. So we've been renting the theater on Sunday mornings for just over a little bit, about a year now. So.
That's really wonderful. Thank you.
So, Kurt, tell us what kind of shows you do here. How can the community get involved, and how can they get in touch with you to help support your theater here?
Okay. Well, we do a wide range of performing arts, mostly music, and mostly just good old-fashioned rock and roll, to be honest. We have our own rock band program through Booth Brothers Music, where we take students of guitar, bass, drums, keyboards, vocals. We call it Real Rock Band. Actually, the Anderson sons, Isaiah and Nehemiah, are both in Real Rock Band this year, and the culmination of that is this Friday and Saturday night. So we do a lot of rock and roll. We do also dance recitals, lots of dance recitals. We've done martial arts events. We've done a lot of family parties. We've even done weddings. And so the truth is that we want this to be just a good house for community events, no matter what that is, as long as it's good, clean fun. It can be had here at the Angelus. And we definitely do promote and support performing arts and mostly music.
Well, that's great. I have to say the theater really looks great. All of you that are long-term Spanish Fork residents, come down here. You'll feel the nostalgia. It's a wonderful place. A couple more questions for you, Kurt. Can you tell us about your logo?
Absolutely. Okay, so it all came about when I discovered that the original name of this theater from 1912 when it opened was the Angelus Theater. I thought that was a great name. Who doesn't love angels, first of all, right? Also, Dominguez and Escalante coming down through the canyon. Angelus actually is the Latin spelling, Angelus, and that actually it can trip people up from time to time, but it is Angelus. Nonetheless, we wanted to go with a theme that was based on angels, and I've been playing guitar since I was about 8 years old, and the guitar has probably been one of the greatest instruments in my life to keep me balanced and also to give me a lot of real joy. And so I thought, what better than an angel playing a guitar for the mascot for the Angelus Theater? I thought that would work out okay. So called up a good friend, Steve Keel from Payson, who's a great artist and graphic designer as well. And over the course of about 6 months, together we finally came up with this angel playing the guitar, and that was the Angel of the Angelus.
We've offered some grants for the DT on Main project, and I understand that you were one of the recipients of that grant. How helpful was that for you to make some of these renovations and help the storefront?
That was incredibly helpful for us because the truth is we've done this all on a shoestring. We've been completely hooked on this building and done everything that we have been able to do just with friends. And so the grant that we got from the chamber was huge for us. And we really very much appreciate we were able to get our facade done. And if I do say so, it looks quite magnificent.
Yes, it does.
We found an artist named Job Beagle from Payson who did the full facade, also did the proscenium, and he also painted those 3 large paintings on the way in. So he's a true Renaissance man, and we were just very, very patient. It took him about 6 or 8 months to get to us, but when he finally got here, I think it was well worth the wait.
Well, I think this theater is a great addition to some of the restorations that you're seeing down here on Main Street, and we hope to see much more of that continue to happen. And all you parents out there, this is a great resource to get your children involved in something other than maybe video games. They can come down here and get involved in music, and it's also a great venue to come down on the weekends and watch some of these shows that they are producing and putting on. Are the weekends the best time to come and see those?
Weekends are always a great time to see well-organized events. We also, every Thursday night, we have an open stage jam, which is one of the big things that we do. So we have a host band here on the stage that plays. People can come sign the List O' Love, we call it. And we call them up out of the crowd 1 at a time, 2 at a time, a whole band at a time, to join the band on stage and sit in, or they can even bring their own band and play for 2 or 3 numbers. So that's one of the big things that we do, and that's every Thursday. But you can check the calendar at angelustheater.com, and that's where we post all of our events and see what might tickle your fancy there.
Well, welcome to the community. What a great addition, Spanish Fork. So I think that pretty well wraps it up for us today. Congratulations to Kurt, Chandra, and Matthew. Thank you so much for bringing such a wonderful venue to our community. We would like to thank Costco for providing our cake for the ribbon cutting today, and we just want to say thank you to all the residents that take the time to watch this. Thanks again.